All right. Now we from Kuala Lumpur, Price International, we have the sole and exclusivity for all these devices globally. All right. Globally, signed, sealed, and delivered. Okay. I would like to break down the benefits, the features and benefits of iTerra Care device basically into four. All right. I know some of the other slides have been talking about five, but I just want to summarize it into four. And the first one is stem cell stimulation, right? When you blow it onto your skin, it goes into your bone, it penetrates. Wow, guess what? It's going to stimulate your stem cells. And the other one is the activation of your cells because it resonates same frequency with your body cells. It's going to charge up and energize your cells. And it's safe and it's user-friendly. So let's go through them one by one. And the first one is, as I said, the penetration. The frequency of terahertz is able to penetrate our body from 20 cm to 30 cm to reach the bone marrow so as to stimulate our body's stem cells to repair and replace the damaged cells. Now, a lot of us will be thinking, how is it? I mean, is there any evidence to substantiate these terahertz stimulating stem cells? Well, I have actually found, right? I have actually found a research study. Let me just get it for you from Russia, right? Yes, it's not on humans, but it's on mice. And it's pretty good, all right? It's pretty good. So this research study basically is June 2020. So it's fairly recent, fairly new, all right? And most of the scientists, all right, if I can just move this aside, they are from the Russian Academy of Sciences. Look at them. They are, most of them, from Russian Academy of Sciences. And this Russian Academy of Sciences, they are not small. There are more than 100,000 employees and about 50,000 scientists, all right? They are huge. Now, I'll just stop share this for a while. I just want to say this, all right? With all due respect to Big Pharma, when you do human clinical trial, there must be some kind of reward to the company, right? So the Big Pharma, they will register the drug and then they will do a clinical test because they will probably spend more than maybe tens of billions, right? And then when they get the clinical trial, they have already patented the drug. So they get back their reward, right? But if you want to do clinical trials or do, research on human trial, they're very expensive. So that's why you don't see a lot on food supplements. You don't see a lot on things like terahertz. I mean, why do you want to show something on terahertz, right? And it's something that, unlike a drug that you can patent and get back the ROI on your investment. But then, as I said also before, there is a Russian war with Ukraine. And so Russian is not exactly popular right now, but we can never deny that Russian science is very good. Am I right? Russian science is very good. So this is what the report, right, has actually shown. So here, effects of terahertz radiation on living cells, a review. And in this review, I'll just quickly go through to the relevant one, which is on stem cells, because that's what I want to show. And effects of terahertz radiation on stem cells. It was shown that exposure to ultra broadband pulse terahertz radiation with a mean intensity of duration 9 hours promoted differentiation of mouse mesenchymal stem cells. Okay, so what this means, guys, is that mesenchymal stem cells, we have cells in our body, right? And mesenchymal stem cells, if I use the human, it's like in our fat, right? A bit of liposuction, you take it out, and then you differentiate, you separate the stem cells, and you separate the rest, and then you freeze it, and then you inject into your organ, and then it will help to repair and replace damaged cells in those particular organs. So this is the differentiation. That means stem cells are undifferentiated. They have no specific function until it goes to that particular organ, then it becomes differentiated. And if you look carefully at the words being said here, it says here that it promoted differentiation. All right. So I don't mince my words, and please read it. And the good thing is that legally trained, I was trained from Monash, Australia as a lawyer. And we look at words, we look at words very carefully. And here, this is exactly what it says. On the mice, it promoted differentiation of mouse mesenchymal stem cells. Guys, this is huge. Yes, there's no human clinical trials. Yes, I take that. All right. But to test it on mice by a very famous Russian Academy of Science to prove that stem cells can actually, right, differentiate mice stem cells. I mean, terahertz, sorry, can actually, blow and differentiate mice stem cells. That is huge. That is amazing. All right, so moving on. There's a lot more to cover than just about stem cells, okay? Because tonight I'm going to spend more time on something different, right? Something different. Some of you may not even have heard of it before, okay? But I hope that you will find it interesting. And let's just move along. So that is stem cells for you. And then here, well, the second feature and benefit of terahertz frequency is that it has the same resonance as our body's cells, all right? And what is resonance? Well, take a look. If it's not the same frequency, those ping pong balls will not move, okay? But if it is the same frequency, it will. All right. So this is what we mean by resonance. And that's why when we charge our body with the terahertz, it actually activates our cells. Now, that is going to be very good for us because then our cells will be able to do a lot of its function, all right? And that's why we have wonderful testimonials, which I'm going to share in a while. So radiation tests, a lot of people will say, is it safe? Well, as I said, we went past the airport scanner, right? Without blinking an eye, right? So is it safe? We're still here, right? Alive and kicking. So it's safe. Now, we have done radiation tests on electrical appliances as well as terahertz devices. And it shows that, yeah, there's zero radiation. Okay, so you can see in a short while, that is the electrical device. And you can see the reading is 1,000, 1,200, 1,100, right? It's quite a lot. And a lot of radiation. So if you blow the iTera Care device, none. It's safe, right? So that shows the radiation test is okay. And next we will go to the ultraviolet radiation test. Similarly, it also shows zero radiation. Okay, so it is safe. That's the third feature and benefit. And now we go to the simplicity of the product, right? It works very well, right, against solving inflammation in your body, all right? And we get a lot of inflammation in our body because of the free radicals. I'm sure you've heard of the oxidation process, So a lot of our illnesses, disease, I mean, it's also predominantly caused by inflammation. For example, let's say our artery, in our heart, it's like inflamed, and then our cholesterol, goes there to try to fix it and repair it, and in the process blocks it, right? So the real culprit is not the cholesterol. The real culprit is actually the inflammation of the artery walls. And naturally, if you take care of the inflammation, whether it's a simple joint pain or whatever in your body, everything else will just fall into place. All right. So as you can see, the whole list there and more. And fourth feature and benefit is simple. We give you a chart and you just follow and you just blow, 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 blow. Basically, these are all traditional Chinese medicine points, acupuncture points. And you are basically, the lymphatic system is for you to detox. And then the meridian is for you to improve the circulation. And then you just follow, blow, 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 right? And the area of pain, you blow more, all right? So that's as easy as it can get. All right. So According to Albert Einstein, future medicine will be the medicine of frequencies. I couldn't agree more with this wonderful gentleman. All right. I totally agree with him because we are made of energy. We are all made of energy. Okay. Now, to highlight this point, I have to take you back in time. Okay. But before I do that, let me tell you a little bit of background about myself. Yes, I've got a Bachelor of Economics, Bachelor of Laws, and PhD in alternative medicine. But lately, right, I'm into energy. I'm into energy healing, right? And the most recent one was in Kuala Lumpur at the Twin Tower, you know, the Petronas Twin Tower, right? We have 1,400 participants, and it was very exciting moment for myself. Okay, for myself. So I'm an instructor and I teach, all right? And I'm the only English instructor because most of them are Vietnamese. So in the process, this is where what I have to say, right? I have already extensively researched into it. And we all came from, if you believe in the Big Bang Theory, right? It all started 13.8 billion years ago. And most scientists, right? Theoretical physicians, scientists, astrophysicists, everyone seems to agree on this model. All right. I mean, people talk about multi-dimensional, blah, blah, blah. But there's so many, theories out there. But the one that most people recognize, right, is the Big Bang Theory. So what happened was 13.8 billion years ago, the energy, the size of a pea, inflated and exploded, right? Okay. And the temperature was so high, within seconds, very high. And there were no particles formed at all, all right? And then it cooled down very fast as well. And when it started to cool down, you have hydrogen, you have helium, all the gases, right? They started being formed. And then these become molecules, and then they bond and they become stars, planets, galaxies, and they explode, they die, they get a picture. So this is how it all got started 13.8 billion years ago. Now, what about our solar system? What about our planet Earth? Our solar system is slightly more than 4 billion years. So in other words, 13.8 billion, we are only at the end. We are like only 4 billion years old. So we are new, right? So for those of you who believe that we are not alone, that means there are other people out there. Yeah, perhaps. Why? There is a gap, right? I mean, you have 13.8 billion minus 4. There's still like billions of years of civilization, but I'm not going to get into that, all right? The whole idea is to tell you and show you that we are made of energy, okay? So the solar system, 4 billion, and we are part of the Milky Way. And you know how many galaxies there are? There are more than 2 trillion galaxies out there, okay? 2 trillion. It's amazing. It makes us so small, all right? Now, let's look at our human body. So a while ago, I mentioned to you that there's this hydrogen, helium, and lithium, and so many other, things that came from the beginning of time, and it get transported into planet Earth. And by the way, just for you to know, it's something very interesting. You know, gold, a lot of us have gold, right? For gold to be formed, a star had to die, right? So, and then it get transported to planet Earth. So that's just something for you to know, right? Our body is made of all this. Just look at the left and the right, okay? Oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus, and so on, right? That's about 99%. Then you look on the right, they are in smaller quantity as well as very small, minerals, trace minerals and all that. Essentially, we are all molecules. That's what I am trying to say. That means we have molecules, hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, etc. Now, if you look at the molecules, they are made of atoms, right? And if you look at the atoms, what is an atom? Remember the physics days? You have what? The neutron, you have the proton, you have the electron, right? And then you put it down into the subatomic particles. What do you get? Quarks, leptons, and so on. Okay, now let me share this. In 1964, we have a scientist by the name of Peter Higgs and his team. They say that before all these particles can be formed, there must be just an energy, because the particles have to go through it to get its mass. And nobody believed them, right? That was way back in 1964. But in 2012, after spending more than 50 years, after spending more than 10 billion US dollars, after building the Large Hadron Collider in 3 countries, predominantly in Switzerland, at a town called CERN, after having had more than 7,000 scientists, guys, this is what they have found out. Okay, it's amazing. Sorry. Oops, let me just stop share. I want to show you another one. This is the one. Okay, so the Higgs boson. In 2012, they found out, right? What does it say? This is the website of CERN, all right? The Higgs boson. You and everything around you are made of particles. But when the universe began, no particles had mass. They all sped around at the speed of light. Stars, planets, and life could only emerge because particles gained their mass from a fundamental field associated with the Higgs boson. So beneath all the particles and everything else is only a fundamental field associated with Higgs boson. The existence of this mass-giving field was confirmed in 2012 when the Higgs boson particle was discovered. So what is this Higgs boson? It's actually an energy field. So those of you who want to log in and see and learn all about it, a lot of interesting read for you. Okay, now let me just highlight another document, right, to show you our body composition, right? This is from the HeartMath Institute, and this is what it says. Okay, our body, right? Our body has electromagnetic field. All right. Now it says here in this section, we discussed how I'll just highlight it so that you can see. Okay. In this section, we discussed how the magnetic fields produced by the heart are involved in energetic communication, which we also refer to as cardio-electromagnetic communication. The heart is the most powerful source of electromagnetic energy in the human body, producing the largest rhythmic electromagnetic field of any of the body's organs. The heart's electrical field is about 60 times greater, right? 60 times greater in amplitude than the electrical activity generated by the brain, guys. So our heart is actually, in terms of electromagnetic capacity, is higher. How many times? 60 times higher than the brain. This field measured in the form of electrocardiogram, ECG, we are familiar with ECG, you stick it all over your heart and your body, can be detected anywhere on the surface of the body. Furthermore, the magnetic field produced, right? The magnetic field produced by the heart is more than 100 times greater in strength than the field generated by the brain and can be detected up to 3 feet away from the body in all directions. So, guys, we are all made of energy. That's why when you blow the device, right, people get well again. Okay, a very good example. When you are sick, is your energy high or is your energy low? Sorry, I muted all of you, so you all cannot answer, right? When you are sick, your energy is low. All right. When people are happy, people are doing well, people are, their energy level is very high. You go to a stadium, you go to a party, everyone is like, wow, But if you go to a hospital, it's like, okay. So do you want to have high energy or do you want to have low energy? Again, the answer is fairly obvious, right? You want to have high energy. That's why when people blow and they started, drinking the energy water, right, charged with terahertz, guess what? Their cells get energized. And when their cells get energized, the detoxification is much better. The function of the cells is much better. The circulation has improved. right? Even if you blow it to your spine, the coccyx, right? And beneath it is the bone marrow where the stem cells are hiding, right? Hibernating, and you blow, it gets stimulated. The stem cells wake up. It goes to all the different parts of your body, different parts of your organs to heal, repair. Wow. There you go. Okay, so this is not magic. It's just something that maybe we didn't know. So now I hope that by explaining to you that you will be able to understand better why this product really, really is amazing, right? It's based on frequency and it really resonates with the frequency of our body.